Ford car commercials were simply better in the 1950s. I will be sharing with you the top 5 Ford car commercials of the 1950s that I loved, but I will be saving my absolute favorite for last.
This is the Douglas B-66, a long-range, high-altitude Air Force bomber. And here is the first man ever to fly this plane, Johnny Martin, chief test pilot for Douglas Aircraft. Johnny recently added another first to his list of credits when he became the very first man to drive a 1957 Ford across the country. Naturally, in the months to come, there'll be thousands of new Ford owners making this trip. But how does it feel to be first? Well, let's hear Johnny Martin's own account of a new adventure named Ford.
I took off from International Airport outside New York City on September the 12th. My car was a brand new Ford Fairlane 500 Club Victoria, delivered fresh from the factory that morning. Well, by the time I got to the George Washington Bridge leading out of the city, I knew I was in for a lot of fun. This 57 Ford is a real big car, but it handles like a Thunderbird and rides smooth as a jet through a cloudless sky. Once on the new turnpikes, I opened her up partway and started making time. My Ford hummed along so quietly, I wouldn't have known I was driving if it hadn't been for the passing scenery. Outside Pittsburgh, I ran into a rainstorm, but I was just as warm and dry inside the Ford as if I were flying over the weather. Those new wider tires sure keep a tight grip on a wet road, too. Pennsylvania, Ohio, then down across southern Illinois and into Missouri, and I was still having the time of my life. When I'm flying, I sometimes look down and wonder what it would be like driving on roads like this. Well, now I know. In a Ford, it's great. On any road. Funny thing happened here in Oklahoma. I'd been cruising along well within the speed limit when 2 highway patrolmen stopped me. No ticket. They just wanted to take a closer look at this new kind of Ford. I couldn't blame them because it sure is a beauty. And as for performance, well, I told him that after this trip, I could understand why police forces everywhere prefer Fords. 2 days later, I was in mountain country, and I really appreciated that Husky V8 engine purring under my foot. I'd have to get back in a jet to beat this Ford's climbing power. And man, how it took those curves. It hugged the road without any pitch or sway, just as if we were on track. Here we are on the last leg of the trip, and even the traffic-jammed Los Angeles freeway couldn't faze me. You need a car with split-second response to travel in this fast-moving crowd, and, as always, my Ford delivered. Well, this is the finish line, the Douglas plant in Santa Monica. You know, I've made a lot of trips across the country, but believe me, this one was the most fun.
Across the country or around the block, you too will have more fun in a 57 Ford.
Now, before we get into the next car that I loved, I need you to hit that subscribe button if you love cars. I upload videos every Monday and Friday about cars that you won't want to miss.
What is the first thing a smart horse buyer does? Just this. Sure, he knows it's more than appearances that count with a horse. And if you're wise, you'll do the same thing when it comes to buying a truck. Yes, sir, you look under the hood, because here is where truck buying begins. Look for the one big advance that is revolutionizing engine performance and gas savings. Look for modern short-stroke design. And for 1955, only Ford, the largest builder of V8 engines, makes the short-stroke V8 for every truck size, from pickups to 60,000-pound big jobs. As you see here, modern short-stroke engine design means that the stroke is shorter than the bore. This reduces piston travel and piston speed. Piston rings last as much as 53% longer, and you get longer engine life. You also get more power, more punch, and save up to 1 gallon in 7. To make sure that your next truck has this totally new type of engine, look under the hood. Look for a Ford short-stroke engine V8 or 6 in a moneymaker. A new Ford triple economy truck for 1955. They're at your Ford dealers right now.
It's out of this world. Take a look at the new Ford for 1950. It's 50 ways new. And listen to the new Ford engine, quiet as a whisper. Quietness means quality. That midship ride is like floating on air. Ford's the one fine car in the low-price field. New fashion car styling. Take the wheel of a new Ford and feel the difference. Ford's famous lifeguard body has been made even stronger than ever. And Ford gives you more hip and shoulder room than any car in its class. Note the colorful new instrument panel. Feel those new sponge rubber front seat cushions. Only Ford in its field gives you a smooth 100 horsepower V8 engine, or the most advanced 6 in the industry if you prefer. It's a fine car at a low price. Yes, the new Ford's out of this world in quality. That's why there's a Ford in your future, with a future built in.
Well, this is it, sir. The newest Ford of them all. The retractable hardtop.
What do you mean retractable hardtop? It's an open convertible, isn't it?
The top is inside the trunk, sir.
Oh, you mean a steel top?
Exactly, a steel top. Why don't you get in and raise the top yourself?
Yeah,
I'll do it, dear. You just stand and watch.
honey, I'm the man in the family. Let me do it.
You don't have to be a man to do it. Anyone can do it.
Lucy, honey, look, you know how to take ice cubes out of a refrigerator, but it's an automobile. It's a complicated machinery. Women just don't understand. Hey, Lucy, put on the brakes. The trunk is open.
Just be calm, dear.
It's all right, sir. You see, it's all automatic. When you press the roof control, the rear deck lid sweeps up. The roof rises out of the trunk, swings up. Watch it now. And finally, set screws automatically lock the roof to the windshield. There. From an open convertible with room inside for a weekend's worth of luggage to a hardtop, all in a matter of seconds.
Oye, caramba, te quiero comprar el coche. ¿Cuánto dinero tú quieres? Te doy ahora mismo el dinero que tú quieras.
What did he say?
I don't know, but I think the gleam in his eye means you're getting through to him.
Isn't it wonderful, honey? Hey, I like to put the top down, may I?
Of course.
Move over, honey. It's my turn now.
All right, all right. Some men are just like little boys when it comes to a new Ford.
Yeah, well, I know, but move over. Let me do it.
You've just witnessed the happiest revolution in motoring pleasure that ever took place. A revolution made possible by Ford's advanced engineering. Again, Ford goes first with the world's most exciting automobile.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, like I promised Lucy, by the way, where is she? Well, anyway, here's the car that was proof and approved around the world. The 1958 Ford. Lucy, what are you doing?
Oh, I found some dust on here, and I think it came all the way from Paris.
You know, this is the best-looking car in town, and you're trying to make it look better. It's impossible.
Have you ever seen French dust?
Women, you know, all they think about is what a car looks like. How about how it goes?
I know it goes.
Yeah, but you ever stop to think what makes it go?
Certainly. It has a thingamajig under the hood.
It's not a jigamajig. It's an Interceptor V8 engine with precision fuel induction.
Oh, you should have stood with jigamajig.
Never mind. Best thing that happened to V8 engines in the last 25 years. I know, I drive it myself.
Well, you're not the only one.
Yeah?
You know what I go for?
What?
This new Magic Circle steering. It makes turning so easy.
Yeah, even you can park it.
I sure can. Oh, and this new Cruise-O-Matic drive. It's so cute.
Lucy is not cute, it's the greatest.
Oh. Well, you better tell the folks to try a 58 Ford at their Ford dealer.
You're right. There is nothing newer in the world than a 1958 Ford.
We just love ours.